Welcome to Unhinged Magi.
We're back again. Man, time. Time is what you really need to be able to know what's going on in the world. And if you can know the exact moment that something's going to happen, boom, you're in. You're going to be in the money, you're going to be in the know, and you're going to know everything that you need to know, and you're going to have a very prosperous time. And timing is always priceless.
If you do it right.
Yep. So, let me give you a perfect example right now.
Because he just did it right.
I did it right.
Yep.
So, the high-end graded commons are on the rise, right? They're actually really peaking out. And I actually traded a bunch of commons for an Alpha Mox Jet.
Sorry, let me spit my coffee.
Yeah. Can you think about that for a moment?
Seriously, is this happened, people?
All right.
Commons for an Alpha Mox Jet. 9.
That actually happens. A grade 9. It wasn't a quad 9. Let's not go crazy.
That's already crazy.
Yeah.
That was already a huge win.
But can you actually... Now, none of these were Alpha Commons either.
How many commons was it in total?
Oh, it was quite a few. Maybe like 40. But it's still... That's a lot of commons.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, well, 40 commons.
High-end graded commons. Antiquity commons, some unlimited commons.
I mean, look at the last 27 years of Magic. Who would have, like, nearly ever been like, oh, that's a great set of, like, commons that are, like, a dime a dozen. Everyone's got them. Those are good condition. Let me trade 30 of those for this Mox Jet.
For an Alpha Mox Jet.
Who would have ever done that?
Right. But you know what? Price is price.
So, yeah.
Demand, the price, it goes up. And a common can sometimes be equal to power.
So, you guys, here's the point of this video. And I really want you guys to pay attention because this is one of those really important videos you don't want to miss.
You don't want to miss this one because he's got the data and it's interesting data.
Yeah.
When I told him about this, it triggered his memory.
Yeah, and I started showing him moments in time where I've seen similar kinds of things. But what I want to impress upon you guys is you have to pay attention to prices of various different investments. And there's times where you can do something the finance world calls arbitrage, where you effectively move value from one asset that might be either higher value or overvalued into another asset that can be considered lower value or undervalued. This isn't a crazy concept, but I'm telling you this does exist in Magic. It's probably available to happen right now.
Yeah.
He just did it.
Exactly. These are 9.5s and that kind of stuff commons.
So
the
big key concept, you guys, is everyone's talking about inflation these days, but inflation is not uniform. It's not like this CPI-based multiplier where something in society just turns the volume up and everything moves up in uniform. It doesn't work like that. Inflation is wealth moving into certain things first, and then it goes into other things later on as the market evaluates and settles out. So what you want to do is you want to look at the things that are going up first, and those are the ones that you sell, and you want to look at the ones that are like still undervalued, haven't gone up enough yet, and those are the ones you want to buy. Now, Dan effectively just did that. Because you see I said it was 40 commons?
Yeah, it's about 40 commons. But they're high-end. They're high grade.
High grade. Well, I mean, an Alpha 9 Mox Jet is also high grade.
But it's not a 9.5, and I said it wasn't a quad.
Yeah, but those are hard to find. Anything like 9.5 or higher. I mean, so anyways, yeah, he literally just did that, and you have the opportunity to do it too, because I'm sure the prices haven't moved that much. But here's the trick of what happened with it. People are recognizing that these high-grade cards are hard to get your hands on because it's hard to get the grading done.
Correct.
And they're a real high grade, like a 9.5 or a 10, is harder than you guys think to get.
I did trade some 10s, and I did trade some 9.5s. So these commons were very high-end and hard to get.
Yeah, they are legitimately difficult to get, that kind of thing. However, in recent times, not too distant past, you could probably pick up a BGS 10 common from various sets for like a fraction of the money that you paid, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they've gone up quite a bit. And so now the market is recognizing how valuable they are, so they've moved up. but there's other cards that the market probably hasn't yet reset it to the price it should be. And that Alpha Mox Jet, I would, in my opinion, is in that case.
Yeah, I would assume it's in that case too. And I'm thinking that it is. It should be higher in value.
Now, I'm going to show you guys something that happened in the past that I observed on my actual channel and I spoke about on Edwin the Magic Engineer channel. So, okay, going to this screen, we're looking at MTG Goldfish, and we're looking at Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, Llanowar. Everybody loves Llanowar. The one drop gives you that extra ramp. You're going to be fantastic. You're going to love it.
So let's get our little screen in here so people can see our ugly mugs.
And if you can get an enchantment on the board that has haste, that makes it even better because you could tap it around.
Get this the right size. Okay, so what basically happened here, we're going into storytelling mode here, guys. Turn the Wayback Machine. Yeah, the Wayback Machine all the way to 2018. Edwin is still doing his Instagram channel.
Hi, I'm Edwin, and I'm doing an Instagram channel.
This is before they changed their policy and they started looking at my contact lists and texts and stuff, which I was not okay with. I'm still not okay with that. So I don't post, on Instagram anymore, but I was back then. I put this post up. You can see the date right here, February 21st, 2018. And I was calling out, how good some beta commons are, how they're effectively undervalued, especially in the discussions below. I was talking about that. Now remember, that was February 20th, 2018. Now, if we go back here and we look at the chart, February 2018, you can see it over here in the screen as I move the mouse. You can see that date. Let me see if I can hit it. Right about here, about February in 2018, Llanowar Elves are sitting like $24 each. I made that post and then people started buying them out and then they hit like $120 each. Edwin, why do you think that you were the one that moved the market? Well, two reasons. One of them, because for like 15, 20 times in a row, I would make a post and then that thing would start shooting up. Yep. So there was a large correlation there. So that was one thing. And then also because the Magic community started getting on my ass about it. Yeah. They were angry.
Why are you pushing the Llanowar Elves?
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to move the market. What my message was is I was telling people, like, these are too cheap. Get these before the collectors and investors move in. That's what I was saying.
And then the collectors and investors moved in.
Yeah, they started paying attention to my channel, so I stopped doing financial calls because I didn't want to be blamed as the guy that was causing the investment buyouts and such. Anyways, point is, the Llanowar Elves went up and they hit about $120. Now, see this date. This, as you can see on the right, it's like February. No, sorry. No. It's April 22nd.
And that's not a very long length of time when it comes to anything rising and falling.
Yeah, so within 2 months, the Llanowar Elves went from like $25 each to $120.
And it's all Edwin's fault.
Yeah, actually, literally was my fault. But here's the point, you guys. Llanowar Elves at $120. If you had 6 Llanowar Elves, you legitimately had enough money to buy a Mox Pearl or something from Unlimited.
Exactly.
And Edwin, you're crazy. No, I'm not. Here's the chart. Yeah. Okay, so here's Mox Pearl from Unlimited. If we go back to about the same date, let me see if I can hit it. Just go right by here. This is about February. The Mox Pearl, this is for mint, by the way. It was sitting around like 1184.
Now, that's for an NM. That's near mint condition, not played.
So about here's about the date where the Llanowar Elves were sitting right around. It's hard to hit it and stay on it. Right around the time Llanowar Elves were actually sitting around $120 each for beta, you could get a mint unlimited Pearl for about $1,100-$1,200. But I'm telling you from experience, like, you could go on eBay and you could pick up a light play one for $700-$800. So there was a literal moment in time where you could sell 6 high-end, not even graded, but just like mint beta Llanowar Elves, and you could go buy a Power 9 card.
Yeah.
And so that was like
common for power.
That was an amazing trade. And I actually, in one of my videos on Edwin the Magic Engineer, I called that out. So when I said that, now look at what happened here on the price of the Mox Pearl. See how the Mox Pearl started going up? The same exact effect happened. I said that the Moxes are undervalued, and you know it because 6 commons buys you a Mox. Come on, guys. And then the Moxes started to move. So that's the point, you guys. The point is, there are moments in time where one asset gets in Magic, in collecting, gets overvalued while another is undervalued, and you got to watch for that.
Yep. And in which case you can make the moves. But it's hard to predict those things. You just have
predict
to
is
really,
tough.
You have to really watch the numbers. And if you can watch the numbers around the clock, every day you get up, you look at your screen, see what everything is at, then you will know when you can actually make that trades.
Yeah, and all that I knew about the beta Llanowar Elves is I knew that like anything that's a beta common was undervalued in that day, and I was aware of that. But Llanowar Elves specifically, those are a card that are not just played in old school and stuff like that. They're played in other formats.
Yep, they printed it.
Llanowar Elves is still a pretty decent card. And if you can show up at some new event like Modern or something and you slap a Llanowar Elves down on the table, it's like, that's pretty pimp, you know, a beta Llanowar Elves popping out in like a Modern deck. So I was like, you know what, these are too good of cards. These ones are definitely undervalued at like, you know, 15 to 25 bucks each. Like, no way, man. These are too cheap. I didn't know it was going to go up to 120, but I knew it was too cheap.
And it stabilized at 120, basically.
Yeah, actually, that's another interesting point to come back to for a second. So the Llanowar Elves today, they went up to 120, then they pulled back a little bit, but pretty much held value. And now they're up around like a 160, somewhere about there. So they went up down a bit, then up a little bit, but they were fairly stable. What happened to the Pearl? Well, it was around 1,200, and now it's gone sky high, and you're looking values between like 7,000, 6,000, something like that. So an unlimited Pearl is probably closer to like a real value today, but the Pearl moved up much more because it was undervalued. People were looking at it back then like, oh, 1,200 bucks for a Power 9, that's so much money. But like, no, guys, no, not when like the beta commons are pulling like 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks a piece. No, they weren't. And so, yeah, that is happening right now with these high-end graded cards.
With the graded commons, especially. They're actually, there is a spike in graded high-end commons.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So if you have a high-end graded common, now might be a time to sell it.
It might be.
And if you are looking to buy power cards that relative to those commons appear undervalued, now might be a good time to buy those.
Exactly.
So that's what this means.
It's crazy. I
never
thought I would do that.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Yeah.
All right.
I hope that was useful information for all of you.
Useful.
Pass this video around, share it with your friends, and hope everyone's going to have a great Christmas.
Have a great day and a great Christmas. Great holidays.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.